Now let's look at adding, subtracting, and multiplying functions. So let's say you have two functions. F of x is equal to 2x squared plus 3x. And another function which is g of x, which is 4x minus 1. So now if we want to add functions, the key to add functions is you simply, well, add them. And that's it. F of x plus g of x would simply equal to 2x squared plus 3x. And you add to that 4x minus 1. And then you add them. So what's the trick to adding functions? You add them and simplify them. So that's going to be 2x squared plus 3x plus 4x minus 1. Combine like terms and you get 2x squared plus 7x minus 1. And that's it. How do you subtract functions? Subtract them and simplify. So that would be 2x squared plus 3x minus 4x minus 1. Remember to distribute your negative sign. And then you have 2x squared plus 3x minus 4x plus 1. That's 2x squared. 3x minus 4x is minus x. And there you have it. So let's say you had two functions and you wanted to multiply them. Let's say that you wanted to multiply f of x times g of x, and sometimes it's written like this. Sometimes the notation is f times g of x. You could even see it f g of x like this. All of these mean the same thing. The way you multiply two functions is you just multiply them. You go 2x squared plus 3x, 4x minus 1. In this case we have we need to FOIL it, so we go first times first. That's 8x to the third. First outside would be minus 2x squared. Inside would be 12x squared, right? 3 times 4, x times x is 12x squared. And then 3x times minus 1 is minus 3x. See if there's anything that you can combine. You can combine this term and this term. So it's 8x to the third plus 10x squared minus 3x. And that's how you multiply functions. You can also add and subtract them graphically. That's not as common, but it actually means the same thing. Let's do an example of that. Let's say you had a function. Let's say the first function looked like this. Let's call that f of x. And let's say you had another function which was g of x. In this case, if you had f of x plus g of x, at every point along here you would add the two numbers. So for example, let's look at this point. At x is equal to 3, your y is 1, 2, and minus 1. 2 plus minus 1 is 1. So that would be the point right there. The point here, if you notice right here, the y here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the x is still minus 1, so that would be 5. And that's the way the first part would look like. The next part, f of x remains at 6, at x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is 1, 2, 3, 6 plus 3 is 9, so that would be right there. Now from then on, what happens is you add, but what you notice what's happening here is you're going down 1 and over 1, down 1 and over, down 1 and over 1. You can just pick a point, since it's a line, you can kind of, and this is constant, you can kind of just pick a point at random. We're going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. X is 9. At x is equal to 9, g of x is 0, and f of x is 6, so it's 6 plus 0 is 0. Right there, and you're just going to draw a line there. And then, since it continues off, this will be f plus g of x. And that's how you would graph adding functions. And that's how you add and subtract, multiply functions. The rule is that you add functions, you add them. Subtract functions, you subtract them, and to multiply them, you multiply.